The fastest way to buy Bitcoin in Australia from an exchange you can trust. Bitcoin.com.au.
Blockchain technology, it's clear we are seeing something quite revolutionary that's going to change our world.
Recognition, I'm on a mission, I'm paying dues, I'm in position, I'm staying up, it's getting late, you're doing good, I'm doing great.
There's a huge push into connecting the physical world with the blockchain.
It's always a good idea for investors to make the trend the trend.
You're doing good, I'm doing great.
Hi, and welcome to tonight's episode of Coincast TV. I'm your host, Chris Masasma. We'll be on your screens every week, covering all the latest news from around the world about the businesses behind blockchain. Whether you're a crypto enthusiast, have an interest in blockchain, or just want to know more about how technology changes the world around you, please join us. In tonight's program, we find out why Game of Thrones location Malta is on its way to becoming an economic crypto superpower. We'll have a look at an app that's making it easy to buy crypto on your mobile phone, and why Madonna has thrown her support behind Ashton Kutcher-backed crypto, Ripple. But first, let's cross to our reporter Tessa Dempster for a look at the latest news in the blockchain.
Thanks, Chris. First, let's take a look at how the market is doing, and let's face it, it's been a terrible week for crypto. And some are even calling it a cryptogeddon. Prices across the board have dropped, but nothing compared to what we saw in January. The Bitcoin price is at its lowest since June, and Ether has crashed, mostly due to all of the ICOs cashing out. This decline could be panic-driven due to the fact that the SEC continues to postpone or outright deny all cryptocurrency-related ETFs. But in industry news, the World Bank has chosen one of Australia's biggest banks to deliver the world's first blockchain bond. Using Ethereum blockchain technology, the Commonwealth Bank of Australia will launch the Australian dollar kangaroo bond, or Bondi. But in other news, there's been a lot of speculation as to whether Facebook is or isn't getting into blockchain. Facebook executive David Marcus, who also sits on the board at Coinbase, has exited his board role this week. Some are speculating this could be a sign that Facebook is gearing up to make its blockchain debut. Back to you, Chris.
One of the big questions asked by newcomers to crypto is the difference between a security token and a utility token. We caught up with blockchain legal expert Toby Hicks to help explain why it's important to know your tokens.
The new age blockchain businesses are quite different to traditional companies. They have different business models, a new way of raising funds, and a new way of operating.
These are new communities set up, raising significant amounts of money to develop an idea to push forward, but it's not a traditional business model that you would see with a company issuing some form of interest within that company and people having an ownership interest going forward.
Instead of raising capital through an initial public offering or IPO on a stock market, they raise money through an initial coin offering or an ICO. People are buying tokens that give them access to the technology. It's a bit like crowdfunding a business idea. So, what is a utility token?
The essence of a utility token is that effectively it gives you a right to participate within a certain community. In many instances, those community platforms don't currently exist, but holders of utility tokens will be holding them on the assumption that at some point in the future, they will be able to use those tokens within a set up community. Now that may be a community relating to the trading of power credits. It could be an opportunity to store and manage genetic data, and it may also be something as simple as trading of goods and services such as grain or other tradable assets.
As regulation increases in the space, legal experts predict there'll be an increase in security tokens.
A utility token and a security token can be the same thing, but at the end of the day, to be a security token, the token has to exhibit elements of a traditional security like a share. They would be voting rights or dividend entitlements, things like that.
And more regulation is seen as being a positive for the market.
Investors are going to be able to get more disclosure and have more certainty around the receipt and trading of those tokens going forward, which can only legitimise the industry.
Making a cryptocurrency purchase can be quite a lengthy and daunting process for first-timers. And once you set up an account, how do you buy your first crypto? Our reporter Tessa Dempster caught up with a team from Bamboo, a new app that has made things more simple.
Buying cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin has just got a whole lot simpler thanks to tech startup Bamboo with their new micro savings app. The app condenses the normally complicated crypto setup process down to just 1 minute.
It seemed to be a very niche, clicky, highly technical environment. And we thought the potential and promise of blockchain could be extended to everyone.
The Bamboo app will allow users to save while they spend, turning everyday purchases into crypto micro investments. As the saying goes, you've got to spend money to make money, meaning buying Bitcoin could be as easy as purchasing a coffee.
And we thought there's got to be an easier way to do it. And we've built an app that makes it easy for anyone with a mobile phone and a bank account to get started in a matter of minutes, rather than having to go through the prior complexities of, figuring out all of these complex systems.
The platform monitors a user's transactions and rounds up the spare change from everyday purchases to buy crypto assets. To set up an account, users need only enter their name, email and password to create a profile in the app. Once you've connected a nominated bank account, your portfolio is ready to go. So if you find it difficult to say no to your standing weekend brunch date with a plate of smashed avocado, Bamboo has your bank accounts back. So Phil, tell me, why are millennials so bad at saving?
I don't think that it's necessarily that they're bad at saving. I think that we're moving to a more sharing-based economy. So we're used to being able to think, I need this, I want it now, and I'm going to buy it, rather than maybe previous generations that had to save for sort of a rainy day, or know that if something broke, it was going to cost a lot to replace. Whereas now, when we're renting things or getting to buy things on demand, we're used to saying, hey, I want this now, I'm going to get it now. And saving is one of those things that sort of didn't fall into practice, it sort of fell off the back. So making that automated and easy seems to be the solution.
So it's kind of saving while spending.
Yeah, at the end of the year, people open up Bamboo app and they might not have opened the app up for the whole year, and they might see $1,000 that's been just moved into our platform from all of the transactions they made.
So it sounds similar to the platform Acorns that's already in effect, and you have a recent partnership with them?
Yeah, so some of the early members of the Acorns team in the United States who brought the idea of micro-investing into the share market have recently joined the Bamboo team, and those guys helped bring Acorns to Australia, which is now Raise, and they've now come on board with Bamboo to help us do the same thing and mirror the success of platforms like Acorns and Raise with crypto.
Tokens, if the ideas of what they represent are going to take hold, they need to start playing with the way things are done now. And this was a way to start that process going in a kind of low risk and interesting way.
And just like that, with my spare change, I've bought Bitcoin, Ethereum, that easy.
The app is expected to be released later this year.
Let's move to the top cryptocurrencies of the week, brought to you by Caleb and Brown. Blame the ETF rejections and delays for the drop in Bitcoin and in smaller coins, almost all across the board. Cross-border payments network Stellar was the only cryptocurrency in the top 10 to hodl. Stellar was better than Bitcoin this week. Wave is one of the few cryptocurrencies to see a positive price movement as trading activity increases steadily on its decentralized exchange platform for cryptocurrencies. Metaverse ETP's blockchain-as-a-service business model is demonstrating value as actual use case adoption beyond just price speculation. Its digitized asset platform provides digital identity and asset management functions on the blockchain. Now to Caleb and Brown's crypto spotlight of the week, Cardano. Created on the foundation of peer-reviewed academic papers, Cardano is the third largest scalable smart contract platform by market cap. It has announced a Google Chrome extension wallet providing a much simpler way to interact with the Cardano blockchain. Currently at only 7% of its all-time high price, Cardano may be nearing the bottom of its price decline.
You're doing good, I'm doing great.
The workers up before dawn. The bean counters. The communicators. The producers. The wool makers, the designers, the visionaries. Big business and small business generates 80% of economic activity. This is Australia at Work. Authorised by J. Clark, BCA Melbourne.
Are you getting the most out of your team? Now you can with Post-it Teamwork Tools. Our range of innovative products help you build ideas together. You'll be able to transform any space into a collaboration space, so you can unlock the full potential of team workshops and make your ideas stick and re-stick anywhere, anytime. Get more out of your team with the right tools for success. Post-it Teamwork Tools. Make your teamwork better.
You have the charisma of a damp rag and the appearance of a low-grade bank clerk.
Big government. I can't stand it.
You have no legitimacy in this job at all.
Looking for a hotel? Nobody beats Mr. Convincing on price.
Really? Their price? Hotels Combined Price. Their price? Hotels Combined Price. Don't be fooled. Before you book, check Hotels Combined.
Hotels Combined.
Trapping a dog in a hot car is a crime. Trapping thousands of sheep in a hot ship is a business. Let's end live export. Authorised by Animals Australia, Melbourne.
This is Australia at Work. Business generates 80% of economic activity. When big business and small business work together, the whole country thrives. Authorised by J. Clark, BCA Melbourne.
Welcome back. The line between traditional corridors of finance and the emerging blockchain revolution are becoming more and more blurred. The two worlds are merging, and it's certainly pretty clear at the recent Wholesale Investors Conference in Sydney.
So we're here at Wholesale Investor Advanced Technology and Crypto Conference. We're extremely proud and excited about the companies that we have here today. It looks like it's going to be another standout event for our investor base, but also our clients that continue to support us.
You've got some of the most exciting blockchain technology projects coming through. You've got a mix of industry heavyweights that have been around the space for a long time attending, and then some new funds as well, some new money that's coming into the industry. And I think there'll be some exciting developments that come through because of this event.
The industry is still in its infancy, but we could see Australia being a leading country for blockchain innovation.
Newman is going to make buildings safer. We're going to be watching for arcs in buildings where people live and where people go to work. Those arcs create fires, and ultimately those fires not only cause massive damage, but they can cause loss of life. Newman's going to make the built environment a safer place.
We work on blockchain-based voting technologies, trying to help eradicate corruption in our electoral processes and other democratic processes, both locally and abroad.
It's incredible to see this place is literally packed out. Everyone here is fervent. They want to know more about cryptocurrency. They want to learn more about blockchain. This is a massive, massive deal because basically what's happening is all these projects and all these great different businesses are taking money and siphoning those into different economies with cryptocurrency. That's exactly what we need right now. It's going to grow the economy, and I think some of the projects are incredible. I'm actually really, really fascinated to talk more about them, and they're here. That's the thing is, you can come here and you can actually speak to them right here at the event, which is incredible.
The volatility of cryptocurrencies is a topic that gets a lot of airtime in mainstream media and in barbecue conversations. Let's cross the data Dan for some insight into why cryptocurrency markets have historically been unpredictable.
The term volatility often comes into the public consciousness when we're talking about a stock market rout or geopolitical factors which weigh down on overall market sentiment. When looking at the much vaunted VIX Volatility Index and comparing it to the US S&P 500, it makes for fascinating reading. When volatility increases, stocks fall. However, on the flip side, when volatility decreases, more money comes on the table for the likes of equities and indeed property. So the question then begs, what does volatility look like for cryptocurrencies? Well, the answer to that, it's been in the last 2 years a different beast altogether. In 2017, the likes of Ethereum, Ripple and indeed Bitcoin tested record highs. In fact, Bitcoin was as much as $16,000 in 2017 alone. However, in the last 6 months, Bitcoin has moderated to between $6,500 to $7,000 US. The question then begs is, what does volatility look like for cryptocurrencies going forward? Well, the answer to this question arguably lies in the fact that cryptocurrencies are increasingly finding more mainstream use for the purchase of goods and services globally. So theoretically, there should be a further moderation in volatility. However, for the time being, and with market forces being the way they are, volatility is something we all have to live with.
Maybe one of the smallest countries in the Eurozone, but the tiny island of Malta is rapidly growing into its ambitious nickname, Blockchain Island. The tiny archipelago is well on its way to becoming an economic superpower in the emerging crypto economy, thanks to its forward-thinking government. These days, most people know Malta as the place where fantasy drama Game of Thrones is filmed. Framed by stunning beaches, medieval towers, and wayside chapels, it's about as unlikely a place to become one of the world's fastest growing blockchain hubs.
Malta is an ideal place for investment businesses to locate and to get involved in this space.
It's no accident that Malta is called Blockchain Island. Recent regulatory and legislative changes were designed to make the industry feel welcome in an effort to develop the local economy. The Maltese parliament has passed 3 bills into law, establishing the first regulatory framework for blockchain, crypto, and distributed ledger technology, or DLT. It's one of the first governments in the world to adopt a national strategy that incorporates blockchain technology.
So what Malta's really done is created a laboratory for blockchain companies to work directly with the regulator to try to figure out what innovations are needed in the regulatory and legal space for these technologies to spread.
It's working because the number of blockchain businesses packing their bags for Malta is growing. Several crypto exchanges, including OKX, ABCC, and BitBay, have made the move, injecting millions of dollars into the Maltese economy, the smallest in the Eurozone. And in March, the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance, relocated its team from Hong Kong. The company plans to employ 200 people on the island as it settles in. Maltese Prime Minister Joseph Muscat even took to Twitter to welcome Binance, making his pro-blockchain stance clear. The commitment of these blockchain companies is helping the country achieve its goals of becoming an economic superpower in the emerging crypto economy. The global blockchain technology market is forecast to grow to $2.3 billion over the next 3 years. Malta says blockchain and crypto will be the mainstay of its economic growth for the next 4 to 5 years. Its national blockchain strategy is aiming to grow the economic footprint of blockchain technologies to make up 10% of Malta's GDP by 2027. Support for the industry runs from the top down, according to the Consulate of Malta in Perth.
One of the things that they have a lot of confidence in is IT, and cryptocurrency fits into that realm.
Digital ex-president Neil Krishnan agrees the Maltese regulatory landscape is ripe for blockchain.
So with Malta taking this forward-looking view and trying to create standards for ICO investments, it creates an opportunity for us to improve the standards for investors and for entrepreneurs and to kind of hold the entrepreneurs' feet to the fire in a more effective way as investors.
The Game of Thrones has been very important to Malta because it has put the world's attention onto Malta. But if Malta can be the hub of cryptocurrency, it's going to secure its future.
Let's take a look at the top ICOs to watch, brought to you by CTIA.
Thanks, Chris. It's all about decentralized apps this week, or dApps. Single Source has successfully finished its pre-sale, raising $5 million. The platform helps organizations to reduce fraud risk. It's scheduled its public sale for later this year. Peer-to-peer communication app Silo has also finished its pre-sale. With over 18,000 users globally, the app allows you to make confidential voice and video calls as well as messaging. And you may have seen this company sign a deal on Shark Tank. Peer-to-peer payment app Bravo is currently in its private pre-sale, but it's also gearing up for a token generating event. In other news, fintech company Identity has launched an ASX blockchain IPO, the first company to do so in the last 2 years. The company is seeking to raise $11 million ahead of a September listing.
I'd had a gutful of aches and pains in my legs and feet. My pharmacy got me onto a Revitive circulation booster, and I haven't looked back. Take that, whippersnapper. I'm back to me best. I'm a flaming flathead! Nothing's stopping me now. Drug-free, Revitive gets my leg muscles pumping, which could improve circulation and help relieve aches, pains and swelling. Revitive's really helped me. Give it a go today.
Save up to $50 off RRP for Dad at Revitive.com.
So I was whitening my smile with a photo filter. My friend said, why not whiten in real life? I wondered, does that even work? She said, Oral-B 3D White really whitens.
Oral-B 3D White toothpaste removes up to 95% of stains in 3 days.
See, your smile looks great.
Oral-B. Brush like a pro.
You have the charisma of a damp rag and the appearance of a low-grade bank clerk.
Big government. I can't stand it.
You have no legitimacy in this job at all.
I'm a breakfast person. But what's important for you in a hotel? Location, cleanliness, or maybe the quality of your bed? Well, you're in luck because Trivago's got you covered. Trivago shows you the things you may care about in a hotel. Ratings for breakfast, location, and even cleanliness are calculated from more than 175 million reviews. That's just one more way Trivago helps you find your ideal hotel. Hotel Trivago.
Coming up on Sky News Real Estate, supercharged super suburbs. We look at the 50 postcodes investors are flocking to.
Want to quit your day job?
Yeah, you're not allowed to.
Oh, well, wealth creation expert Todd Polke will help you set up the property portfolio to get you there sooner.
We work our entire lives for it.
And we'll look at the new model, which aims to make the Australian dream of home ownership become a reality. Chris Daff, Managing Director of Assemble, will tell us all about it.
Plus, live auctions from around the country. Join us then.
Just a few months ago, Ben Ingram worked for a more traditional world of finance, in charge of digital strategy for PricewaterhouseCoopers. Now the CEO of Bitcoin Australia, he spoke with our reporter Heidi Cuthbert about where the crypto exchange is headed.
Hi Ben, firstly congratulations on the new role and welcome to the show. If I can you just start by telling us a little bit about Bitcoin Australia?
Sure. Well, first, I want to thank you for having us on the show. We're really excited about what Coincast is going to deliver to the world in terms of education, understanding about Bitcoin, which brings us to what we do as a company, very aligned with Coincast in that we provide people with information about Bitcoin and Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies. Obviously, we provide commercial services, which is the easiest way for Australians to buy and sell Bitcoin and Ethereum. But also we work closely with government departments to develop the regulatory frameworks for cryptocurrencies and their role in financial services and products.
So Ben, if you can, tell me how Bitcoin Australia is different to some of the other exchanges.
So first and foremost, we operate the primary Bitcoin domains in Australia, the UK, Canada, and a host of other countries. So as such, we provide information about the currencies and how to operate and buy them in those countries. But beyond that, in Australia, we operate a retail network where people can buy and sell Bitcoin for cash over the counter at over 1,200 news agencies. And online, we offer payment services in partnership with Australia Post via Poly. So you can buy Bitcoin simply and in a matter of minutes have your first Bitcoins in your wallet.
So Ben, you said last month that you're considering adding crypto investments into Australia's pool of superannuation. Can you elaborate on that and explain to me how that might work?
Well, first we're introducing a streamlined process to help people set up their self-managed super funds, and that's with the correct mandates in place to enable people to invest in cryptocurrencies. In the longer term, we're working with crypto fund Apollo on the possibility of including their fund as something that can be invested in via superannuation, and in the longer term, perhaps even a fully managed crypto superannuation fund.
So Ben, what else is on the horizon for Bitcoin Australia?
We've got a super exciting year ahead, and that includes opening local operations in around 30 countries. So big international expansion for us as an Australian company, and we're really proud of the success that we're achieving. But I think in the near term, we'll be expanding the range of financial services that maybe people would have traditionally looked to banks or other providers for, leveraging the power of Bitcoin. So that'll include things like merchant services with near instant settlement, international transfers, and again, really reducing the time or providing near instant settlement of transfers to anywhere in the world.
Thank you, Ben Ingram, the new CEO of Bitcoin Australia. Back to you in the studio, Chris.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Heidi. Let's take a look at the week ahead with our reporter, Kema Johnson.
Thanks, Chris. This week, all hopes are going to be pinned on a cryptocurrency rebound after a recent downturn. One of the stories we'll be following is the speculation about a potential IPO of Bitmain on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. Bitmain is currently owned by a 32-year-old Chinese billionaire, and it could be valued at up to $40 billion US. Bitmain was seen as the driving force behind the 2017 Bitcoin spin-off, Bitcoin Cash. The conference of the week is Block Show America in Las Vegas. One of the keynote speakers is Nouriel Roubini, the man notorious for predicting the global financial crisis. Coincast TV will have a reporter in Las Vegas to capture all the stories from the conference. And keep an eye out for Ripple. There's speculation the company is planning a push into China, but it's not to promote its cryptocurrency. The company wants to target the Chinese market with its distributed ledger technology. And that's a look at the week ahead in blockchain. Back to you, Chris.
Thanks, Kema. The Queen of Pop, Madonna, is teaming up with Ashton Kutcher-backed Ripple to raise funds for the Material Girls' own charity. Raising Malawi is a non-profit that supports orphans and other vulnerable children in Malawi, one of the world's poorest countries. Ripple, the world's third largest digital currency, says it will match every dollar donated to Madonna's campaign right up to the end of the month.
So for my birthday, the best gift you could give me is to help me help these kids.
It's not the first time Ripple has dipped its toes in the waters of humanitarian work. Back in May, Ripple, with Ashton Kutcher, donated $4 million to the Ellen DeGeneres Wildlife Fund. Thank you for joining us on tonight's show. You'll find us on your screens every Friday evening at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or you can find us on Apple TV. If you want to catch up on some of our stories on tonight's program, please check it out on Wall Street Journal Online. And you can find out more information or just catch up the entire episode on multipliercrypto.com or coincasttv.com. I'm your host, Chris Masasma, and until next week, keep hodling.